Welcome to the Quality Under Pressure podcast. My name is Min. I'm in studio with Dawson for another one of these special episodes. We just got back from an early screening of Captain Marvel, which is French for Captain Marvel, right? That's French for Captain Marvel? Marvel?
Marvel, yeah.
That's French.
It's a spoiler.
Yeah. We should be very careful of not spoiling anything. We can just always edit it out if we do. But
yeah, we also might be able to just drop in like a quick 2-second spoiler thing at the end. So if you don't want to hear that, maybe just skip towards the end, or we'll give you a heads up when we get to any spoilers.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's get your first opinion on it, your score. What did you think?
I think we should maybe wait till the end for the scores.
Okay.
I just think we should, because that way it gives something to listen to.
Yeah.
But I will say I went in the movie with pretty average expectations.
Me too.
Marvel hasn't let me down in 10 years. So my first feedback was like, it's going to be decent. I don't know much how I feel about Brie Larson, but I think the movie...
Oh, you don't like Brie Larson?
She's fine. Like, she's very attractive, right?
Well, she's my second favorite actress.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm drawing a blank on anything else I've really seen her in that would jump out to me.
You've seen Room?
Nope.
You haven't?
No, I haven't seen Room.
Whoa!
So,
okay.
But yeah, so for me, like, just going in, I had Marvel's great expectations. I didn't know how she was going to do.
Yeah.
Walking out, I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
I thought it was great. Overall, it was a great Marvel movie. It's up there. It's probably a top 5 Marvel movie for me now.
Yeah, I had. It's weird because Brie Larson is my second favorite actress, but just seeing all the stuff leading up to the release of this movie, I guess it's not out yet, but just the trailers, like how it's cut, or just like the shots they picked of her, I was like, I don't know if she's going to be good in this movie.
Yep.
And like you said, she is good because I feel like real life Brie Larson, or at least public Brie Larson, like she's funny and she's like quick and goofy, and she brings that to this movie. So casting wise, I thought that was really good. Yeah,
and like we were kind of talking on the way over here. I looked at it as I feel like this is a yin to like Guardians of the Galaxy's Yang.
Nice.
Where she's got that very Peter Quill vibe to her.
Yeah.
Where she doesn't really know her whole backstory. We get filled in on her backstory. We find out that it's a pretty cool backstory, and but she's got that space travel and the humor, similar characters. So I think this is just a really good compliment to that.
Yep, I agree. And also, we talked about it. We were Facebook messaging earlier today about like the Rotten Tomato score.
Yep.
I think it had a 91 currently on Rotten Tomato, which doesn't mean a whole lot right now because of like the sample size and sort of how they define things.
Mm-hmm.
But before coming in, I was like, I would be happy if I thought this movie was like an 85 out of 100. But I was kind of expecting something lower than that.
Yep.
Also, I'm just not a big superhero guy, but I also love this movie. And when we were leaving, I told you, I think this might be my favorite Marvel movie.
For now. And and there's always going to be, there's the flack that's coming out from the nerds out there who don't want to stand down and watch a powerful woman lead this.
Yeah.
Just leave that at the door.
Yeah.
Or don't go see it and be left out before you get to Endgame. But I mean, yeah.
If you hate women or like powerful women, then just don't go see this movie.
Yeah, and I don't even look at it as like, wow, they really pumped up a woman to be the superhero. It wasn't even that. It was just a cool coming of age, or coming of her finding herself, really, and that really was when it took off.
Yeah.
Plus just the ensemble cast.
Yeah.
I mean, Samuel Jackson crushes it again. Yeah. I want a Nick Fury movie or a TV series where he just goes for 10 hours.
Is he in any? Because I don't watch anything other than the movies, and I haven't even seen all of them. Like I was telling you, like I haven't seen the first Captain America. I haven't seen any of the Thors, just because I don't go deep on these movies. Is Nick Fury in any of like the TV shows or Netflix series?
I think he drops in on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a little bit, and he's also just kind of a cameo character, like a fill-in.
Yeah.
That really ties everything together, and he's Nick Fury. He just crushes it. He's Samuel Jackson. His character was awesome. I think the Skrulls, they're just a really unique race, and you see you see that as it develops through the Kree, where she's from. It's great.
Yeah, I love. Well, the movie is set in the 90s, right?
Yeah, yep. That's the most 90s. Of it is like mid 90s. I think 95.
Yeah, the movie is set in the 90s, and so Sam L, like he looks like he's from the 90s, and so I just kept thinking like this is Jules from Pulp Fiction. I just couldn't help like think like John Travolta's gonna pop out any second here.
Yeah, and it's also we started off with him and Agent Coulson in black car and black suits.
Yeah,
I'm like, this could be a Men in Black movie almost with the aliens that are dropping in and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I also think it's tight that Brie Larson and Sam L are like real life homies because they've done so many movies together.
Okay.
So they always talk about like they're just good pals now.
Yeah.
So
no, it was cool, and they had good chemistry too.
Yeah,
I think they worked really well together.
I guess there's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. I thought the movie had a bunch of good like undertones and like social commentary. I want to get into that, and maybe this question is better for the end. But where do you think this movie positions Captain Marvel for Endgame?
I think it sets her very high up.
Yeah.
We see towards the end, like she just really unleashes her powers, and she basically backs down the army that's coming at her. Like, if you want to die.
Yeah.
So I think it sets her up really, really strong. But I also don't know that she's the full answer to Endgame.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing that with how she needed Nick Fury and she needed her co-pilot to help out.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, they really needed that together. I think it's gonna be the same thing where she's super powerful, but I think we really need the rest of the Avengers to really pick it up and help out.
You've seen more of the theory crafting online than I have. Like the only one that I've kind of seen is a lot of people think Ant-Man is actually going to save the day and defeat Thanos. After this movie, because more of that theory crafting, is Captain Marvel the answer?
I don't know. It's really hard to say just because they don't really tip too much of their cap on what's going to happen. There's always the big theory that Captain Marvel can time travel. Well, that's really simple to solve. Stop him from getting the stones.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We didn't see any of that time travel.
Yeah.
We saw she's super fast. She can fly in space. She can fly. She can blow through ships. We see all these things that she can do.
Yeah.
But I don't know that essentially enough to stop a guy with 5 Infinity Stones.
I know.
Well, they're gone now, right? The stones are gone. They're done. They're used.
Oh, are they?
Well, the powers have been used.
Oh.
So to me, like the powers are used. I'm pretty sure when he snaps, he breaks his gauntlet.
So Thanos is useless too then.
Pretty much. I think his mission's done.
Yeah.
Because his mission was to get rid of half of all living things.
Yeah.
Once he snapped, it's done. So he's hanging out wherever he's hanging out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be that they go after to go back in time to reset. They could move forward. There could be an even bigger bad enemy that we don't know about.
Jeez.
That could show up, and maybe they need Thanos to be the anti-villain or anti-hero.
Dormammu.
Yeah, kind
Coming
of.
back.
Dormammu is back, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Is there anything before we get into like how good this movie is? Is there anything you didn't like?
There's a couple things that some of the placement for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things in there that
like the '90s music.
Yeah,
or
well, some of the '90s music I'm not a fan of. I don't like Nirvana. So that there's a whole scene in there with that.
Narvana?
Narvana, yeah. I don't.
Why do you call him Narvana?
Because I don't care. And that's how little they mean to me. At me if you want.
Dave Grohl made some money off this movie, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm good with that. I like Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just some of the music selection I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
But really, when I try to nitpick it, there's not a whole lot that I can really find that really comes away. There are some things that I kind of scratch my head at. Some of like just the choices.
Yeah.
Like, we can get that to spoiler chat, but
okay.
But yeah, there's really not a lot to complain about in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, always, and you know me, like when we leave movies, there's something I always can like complain about. And this one, I would have to like dig deep to actually complain about things. There was only really one moment where I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" And like I turned to you and asked, like, "There's because of some of the like abilities in this movie." There's a lot of questioning. It's almost like a spy movie in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questioning, like, who are you? So you have to ask them sort of personal questions to see if that person is a spy or not. And so there's one scene between Brie Larson and Samuel L. where the logic wasn't there.
But we get an answer to that later on in the movie.
Do we?
Yeah, because when Jude Law is doing the interrogating, as soon as the person stutters and they slow down, they stumble on the answer that they should know the immediate answer to.
Yeah.
So like if you're asking, they're just rapid fire questions.
But if you're a good spy, you would just respond.
Yeah, possibly, and they did. They did, and Samuel picked up on it.
Yeah, maybe. I'll
so
watch that
it's one of those
part
things
over.
that like it's just one of those things you got to be quick on your toes, and then if you know the answers, you can call bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool dynamic. What did you love most about this movie then?
I think it has some of the best action scenes of all the Marvel movies.
Wow.
Because it's that mix of the superhero element, and then it's also the mix of the space battle.
Sure, yeah.
So, and I love the Star Wars movies. I love the new Star Trek movies. It felt like some of that type of action.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a ton of downtime in this movie, which is good. And sometimes it's a bad with action movies because they can't build the characters and they can't build a story.
Yeah.
I think this had a really good mix of continuing the action moving forward, while also giving us really good story development.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that too much either, but whenever there wasn't action, like there were parts where I was very close to getting emotional during the movie too. So when there's not action happening, there are some really heartfelt moments. And I'm just thinking of like when they leave that, the transition is so seamless.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about when Brie Larson is at her friend's crib.
Yeah.
And then they're sort of like thinking about things and reconnecting. And then when it like transitions into like action, you're like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to skip like movie editing. They didn't have to skip a lot of time and like space to do it.
Right.
So yeah, that's a great point.
The other side of it too is this is really the first we've seen this character. Like I don't know a ton of background on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is, where she's from, but you get all you need. And I think Marvel has learned over the last decade of how to really do these origin stories.
Yeah.
Like we saw it with Iron Man, then we kind of saw it falter with Captain America, but then we saw it pick up a little bit with Thor, and then we saw it drop off, and then we really saw it pick up with Doctor Strange. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
You saw Ant-Man. Who the hell cares about Ant-Man, right? But the Ant-Man movie was great.
Okay.
And then I think they just kind of carried that through with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Really great. We saw him in a little bit in another movie, and then he really picked it up in his own.
How come you didn't bring up Hulk? That's the best origin story.
Terrible origin story. Terrible.
And then we also saw it in IMAX. So I wanted to bring that up too. You said you haven't seen an IMAX movie for a long time. I haven't. I was never.
Yeah.
Weird, like theater gimmicks are weird for me. I know during the 3D movement, you heard me talk about. I fucking hate 3D so much.
Yep.
IMAX is too big.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and we were right in the. We're probably 2-3 rows from the middle of the theater, so we were in kind of that ideal spot. I will say though, since I haven't seen a movie in IMAX, this one had more impact. With those action scenes, when you feel one of their spacecraft take off, you feel it in your seat. You feel the explosions. I felt that, and that to me is cool because I don't get that type of out in my little rinky-dink theater.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. There is sort of a immersive aspect to it. Like when you actually, I'm saying I don't like IMAX because I literally have to move my head left and right to see what's everything that's happening. And because I'm a detail-oriented person, I want to soak in every detail as easily as possible. So the fact that I have to physically move my head to like see from left to right, that kind of bothers me, but I get what you're saying. It is sort of an immersive experience. So like if you're watching a movie, not watching a movie, but if that was real life, you have to move your head to see what's happening.
Yeah, and I think too, for me, it's I'm glad we didn't see it in 3D.
Yeah.
I think that gimmick is kind of gone.
Good.
I don't need stuff being thrown at my face or explosions. I like seeing, just like the Avatar. Avatar was the peak of what we should do. Right. It's the one that like really brought you in.
Yeah.
So I'm fine that we didn't see it in 3D, but the IMAX screen was cool.
Also because when you watch 3D movies, there are objects that are 3D, but they look like cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
So it's like not even that cool.
Yeah, because some of that's that post-production. Like they didn't film everything in 3D, but they wanted to make it 3D.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think what really sold this movie for me is the social commentary and the undertones. There's so much happening there. One, we already talked about, it is definitely a movie about women and having space and being empowered to do whatever they want. I mean, there are so many scenes where young Captain Marvel is like being taunted by like she's trying to do masculine activities, quote unquote masculine activities, and she's being looked down on and talked down to, and she breaks through that. And it's like people talk about, we need to show powerful women characters in cinema.
Yeah.
Bring your daughter to this movie.
Yeah, if she's a little older, because I'm not gonna bring my 3-year-old.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's a great feel. It's a really good feel. And I agree completely. I don't really normally enjoy like those super because
SJW in your
I'm a
face
man,
movies.
right? But I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like this was
Yeah.
cramming it down my throat. It was just a great story, and I think it was really well executed all together. And I didn't feel like, wow, man, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna, march with women. I just felt I felt it was a really good story.
They don't shove it down your throat,
Yeah.
and the characters are so intact and in place. You just want to cheer for the character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And at the end, you're totally on board with Carol at the end of the movie because it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's a cool. You see it all come full circle,
Yeah.
and you get it, and it's like she uses everything that happened to her to get her where she's going to go.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, you see all of that. One part that really stuck out to me was when they're saying, because she's in the Air Force, they're saying like women can't fly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. It's just, and then you see her like become like the best person in the sky and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I thought that was super powerful. There are a couple of other social undertones that I want to talk about too, but what is your opinion on clapping in movie theaters?
I hate it.
Me too.
I understand why we did it at the beginning because there was a Stan Lee tribute right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. And I get it. Like, people are appreciating Stan Lee.
Yep.
But, like, I leaned over to you and, like, I don't think he can hear them.
No.
So, like, I understand. And at the end of the movie, people were excited and they clapped. Sure. But at the end of the day, like, there's no one in the theater from Marvel.
Right.
You're clapping for yourself.
Or to me.
And then everybody else is like, should I clap because this guy's clapping? And then people do it just because that's the social norm.
Yeah.
And I will never clap at a movie.
I don't know. I don't think I can either. So I'm glad that you were not doing it either. 'Cause, yeah.
I think I'm going to just start booing people when they clap. Like, boo! So I get the looks like, well, you're being weird. I'll be weird too.
You should yell, "Stop clapping!" See what you get. See what really
Stop
happens.
Stop clapping.
So I think we have to get close to the spoiler section of the episode. And maybe not yet, but before we do, we should set a hard line, like, hey, spoilers coming
Yeah.
up right now. Because other than the powerful women message, the other one was they literally used the word refugees in
Yeah.
this movie and terrorism.
Yep.
That was powerful, especially in 2019.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that is I don't know when the script was written, but that was a bold statement by this movie.
For sure. And I think it's cool because I think you're going to get through a lot of if the people that are complaining about a powerful woman, if they can sit through this movie and they can see that, maybe it'll break down some barriers like, whoa, maybe at the end of the day, these people just want to be them. They want to do their things with their family. And that's if Marvel can deliver that message, someone's got to do it. And I think a lot of people are going to see this movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully that breaks through a lot of thick heads.
And they did it so perfectly. The pivot that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Let's just
Hold on. Let's give a score.
Okay, and then go to spoilers.
And then we can jump to spoilers. So, Min, what's your score?
In the car, I told you that I was going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9.1 out of 10.
Okay. You just got to go a little bit up.
Yep.
Because you thought about it. Cool. So for me, I wasn't as high as a 9.1.
Yep.
I think I'm going to probably land right around an 8.5.
Damn.
It might sink in a little bit more. It might go up.
What did Avengers Infinity War get for
That's
you?
like a 9.5 for me.
Jesus.
I can't give it a 10 because if Endgame comes out and Endgame is a 10,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can ever really definitively get a 10.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, then I'm done seeing movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But-
even my favorite movie is like a 9.8. So
Yeah, and I like the half scores because it's in the middle. It's a little more of a grade.
Yeah.
So for me, 8. This is probably 8.5. Might be a 9. It's right in that mix. 8.75 if we want to be crazy.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, Infinity War for me is maybe an 8.9. I give this one a 9.1.
Yeah.
So it's close. But
I think like this might be a top 5 Marvel movie for me now.
yeah. That's French, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll definitely see it again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to see it with your dad, right?
I think so. Yeah, he loves these movies too, so I think we'll go see it with him.
Okay, so moving forward, now this is the spoiler section. So if you continue listening and we spoil something, this is your bad.
Yeah,
Don't email us.
I'd say give it a stop. You can press stop, or if you've seen the movie and you want to follow back up, come on back and see us after you see this movie.
Good point. Yeah. So yeah, that pivot, God, I mean, it was so good because you think certain people are the good guys,
Yeah.
and certain people are the bad guys, and all of a sudden things pivot. All the roles shift,
Yeah.
and now because you already sympathize with the bad guys, or you sympathize with who were first perceived as the good guys.
Yep.
And then you learn that the bad guys are actually the good guys, and the bad guys who you look down on.
Yeah.
Now, and they say like, "Hey, we're refugees. People are treating us like terrorists.
Yeah.
We just want a home. We don't actually want to fight.
Yep.
We just want a home." And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
If that's not reflective of the world right now,
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
It's powerful. And it's crazy how it happens, too, because it's just like he's the main bad guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't either.
But he comes out and he's like, whoa, whoa. He's that scene where they're in the house and he's being kind of friendly and he's terrified of the cat.
Yeah.
And like we find out why he's terrified of the cat.
Yes,
he knows something we don't
yes.
know. But yeah, I think that was a really cool moment where you got like, I kept waiting. I kept waiting for him to turn.
Oh, you were waiting for it?
Yeah, I
thought he was the bad guy through and through.
Yeah, I mean, I kept thinking like he was just all of a sudden he's like, no, we're good. Like, just give us all the info. Like he was using reverse psychology tactics with her to like get in underneath her skin. Like, oh, okay, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Once he flipped, and he was, hey, we're good.
Yeah. I think the one thing that you and I both were catching on to was like I thought the bad. I gotta specify. I thought I'm gonna call them aliens.
Okay.
I thought the aliens.
Well, they're the Skrull.
Skrull.
The
yes.
green. The green Skrull.
Yeah, that people know that already, right?
They should. Yeah.
The Skrulls. I thought the Skrulls were definitely bad guys.
Yep.
But the Krell. Kree. Wow, I was way off. Samsonite.
Way off.
The Kree. We both sensed that something was wrong there.
Yeah. Right away, and I think we you can see that in Jude Law.
Yeah.
It's something with his eyes.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like I couldn't tell. I kept thinking that the Dr. Lawson was the cat for some reason.
I did too, yeah.
And that she was going to be some species between the two that was going to bridge. Because outside of that, getting to more Marvel, they set up because the Kree are shapeshifters.
Yeah.
We see them take form of any human. What's really to stop that from taking shape as a Tony Stark? Or what's that to stop from a Peter Parker? They may not have the same abilities, but they can look exactly like a human. Or a Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, any one of these characters that they see, that could totally set up an invasion down the road.
Yeah.
And so there's still a possibility that something happens in the next, in the movie timeline, a 20-year gap, that they become bad again. And they become...
Yeah. That's a good point, man. But yeah, I thought that twist was so well done. Like you said, we only sniffed it out partially.
Yep.
But it was so good. It was such a good lesson in indoctrination.
Yeah.
If you're told over and over and over, those people are the bad guys, you believe it. But just to be told that and then have an opportunity to snap out of it mid-movie, oh man, that's like some Hitchcock shit. Like, you know how Hitchcock says, like, you as the director, you are toying with the audience.
Yeah.
This movie did that.
They did a great job. And it was one of those things too, like you peel back and you look at the military aspect of it.
Yeah.
We've got a soldier who doesn't know anything, but she's so powerful.
Right.
We're going to take this weapon, because they call her the weapon at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And they weaponize her to go against their enemies, and she can obviously, once she figures it out, she can destroy anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's drilled in her head. She's drilled in her head the whole time that they're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
Don't trust they even call them greens.
Yeah.
So like they're not green. They're not green. So it's almost like,
dude,
man, those browns or those blacks are just, that's the same effect.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was when they started calling them greens. I'm like, God, that's something Marvel doesn't do.
Yeah.
They don't throw in slurs.
I think they dipped their toes in with Black Panther. And they found success. Which I'm glad that they did, and so now I think they feel empowered to continue telling messages.
Yeah, and it's a great platform. I mean, it's going to work. People are going to see it, and we saw like Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture because of the cultural breakthrough, right? And not because it was a great movie.
yes,
it's definitely not a great movie, but it's cool to see all the story come together, and it's a great achievement.
Yeah, when you were talking about that too, another theme that happens is how emotional Captain Marvel Carol is. And it's just like, it brought me back to the 2016 election. It was just like, like women are emotional, they can't get things done. And so even from the beginning of the movie, her character is told to suppress her emotions.
Yeah.
But that's actually what made her great.
Yeah, and that in the end is really what set her off to be this hero.
Yeah.
Because she could control her emotions, and she needed her emotions to get her through.
Yeah.
And to make her stronger.
Yeah, I mean, her emotion was what drove her to make all the correct decisions. She could have turned her back on Nick Fury, but she saw something because she had emotional intelligence, so she went back and saved him. She saved the refugees because she has emotional intelligence. It was her emotion that empowered her.
Yeah, and it could have been too, like she may have been testing the waters, like she knew she could probably overthrow a couple of the Skrull if they tried to come at her.
Yeah.
But then she just kind of went with it. She started to believe the story because she listened.
Yes.
She controlled her emotions and she listened.
Oh.
So like there it was, and then she got through it, and then she realized, oh God, he didn't care about the weapon. He wanted to be with his family.
Yeah,
that was the whole story. He wanted to get back to his family, and then she's like, I am going to find you a home.
Yes.
No matter what it takes, I'm going to find you a home. She leaves her home to take care of these people that have been abandoned. And
that's bonkers. That's a great point. That's another point. That's another moment in the movie where I almost got emotional too, just of the climate of like children being removed from their families these days. Like the fact that Captain Marvel was able to bring families together. It's just like, Jesus, we could really use a superhero right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's great.
I think some of the humor too in this, like some of the punchlines we got were executed awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
We were waiting the whole time for Samuel L. Jackson's like, motherfucker.
Oh!
And we almost got it.
It's so close.
We almost had it, but he had, because of the Marvel and not saying fuck, they had to change it a little bit.
Yeah. So close.
Yeah, I think that was great. The one thing I didn't care for was like, that's why they call it a cockpit, right?
Yeah.
The whole the Air Force scene.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, that really shows that douchiness of that guy. I'm better than you. You're a woman. It's called a cockpit, not a pussy pit. Like,
yeah. Also, it's a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
You got to have like exactly the way you said it too, in that tone.
Yep.
You got to have like an obvious pun thrown in there.
Yeah, and Marvel usually does a really, really good job at nailing all those. I thought that one was super corny.
Yeah.
It's not DC level corny, but I think it was. Yeah.
DC's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
You also learn how Nick Fury lost his eyeball.
Yep.
So that's cool too. I find it weird. I already know this happens to me all the time, but people really love slapstick humor, like people getting like sliding on a banana peel type shit.
Sure.
So like there were so many moments where people were laughing and you and I weren't laughing. And then there was one moment, I don't even remember what it was, but you and I and like maybe two people in the corner started laughing at a moment.
Yeah.
It was a Sam L moment, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Do you?
It was just him being Sam L.
Yeah.
And it was just him in the
I remember.
They were just in the car or whatever they were doing. I was just like, yep, okay.
You and I laughed at when Sam L says, I'll give you $50 if you turn it into a piranha, or not a piranha plant, Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
He has no idea what a Venus flytrap was. And just like the way Sam L is this badass motherfucker the whole time, and then he's like, oh, a kitty, and he like breaks down. He's like, oh, the little kitten, come here, little kitten. She's like
we got a mission here.
She's like, let's go. We have Sam, can we or Fury, can we go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like again, Sam crushed it in this.
Yeah, he's great.
I was talking to somebody at work today, and I'm like, I really would love to see a Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury TV show.
Yeah.
Where he's just in the background, and it's because we don't get a ton of him.
Yeah.
He just shows up. He's like, all right, Captain America. All right, Iron Man. But I think it'd be cool to get him to weave in something into like a TV show behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They have the technology to make him look young, so they could totally do it.
Right. Since let's wrap this up soon, but since we're in the spoiler section, you know how Marvel does credit sequence. They do 2 different like sneak peeks or teasers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the actually after credit teaser because it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean it's not worth sticking around the extra 5 minutes of the credit to see.
I mean, just tell them what it is because this is the spoiler section.
Yeah.
So if they really want to see what it is, then they can wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's the cat that's going through the whole movie. The cat is some space creature that can eat everything.
Yeah.
So it's eating Kree warriors. It's eating it eats the Tesseract. Like I got this, guys. I'll hold on to it. And the last 2 minutes of the movie, or the very last post credit scene, is the cat coughing up the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Which, okay, that was not worth us sitting there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's slapstick humor. Like, oh, there's a cat throwing up.
It's like, oh, it's a fur ball.
Yeah.
No, it's the Tesseract.
Yeah. It was like, is it going to spit out a person? Like,
so if you're waiting till the very, very end of the movie, if you think there's going to be some sort of reveal, that doesn't happen. But after like the first half of the credit sequence, how Marvel always puts something in between there, that you don't have to wait for. That's what is like a minute, 2 minute wait.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's once they get through the big like the cinematic credit scene.
Yes.
Then they roll the black, then you can leave.
Yep. So that one's definitely stick around for that one. That one gets you pretty jacked for this summer.
Yep.
But if you don't have to watch a cat puke at the end, skip it.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what happens. But yeah, definitely stick around for that scene because I think that'll probably be right where Endgame picks up, is them hanging out in that room.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Cool. So we're gonna go see Endgame together.
Yeah, let's go see it. We got to keep this going.
Yep. All right. Cool, man. Thanks for listening. And we're gonna have who's the next episode that's coming out? Is that JJ? Yeah.
Yeah, I think JJ's coming up next.
All right, JJ's coming out this weekend. Take care, my friend.
Later.